This video will show you how to construct the wind turbine for use in the Maker's Empire Windy City lesson plan. To build the wind turbine, you will need parts from the Tinkering with Turbines box, the motor sent to you by Maker's Empire, and to 3D print the stand and blades for the turbine. Begin by printing the turbine stand. The parts for the stand have already been designed, and you can easily find them in the Polar Cloud Public Objects section. Just search for ME Windy, and when you find the three components, the pole, base, and motor holder, you will need to print them out. You will need to print 2 poles, 1 base, and 1 motor. Depending on the size of your 3D printer, all the pieces can be printed at once. We printed them all at once on the FlashForge Inventor 2. Once the parts have been printed, set them aside for now. Next, you will need to design and print the blades. This is an activity that you can do with your students, but you will need to design and print 1 set of blades before class. You want the blades to be as flat as possible and pretty wide. You can design them in the Maker's Empire Shaper or Blocker module. You will need to print 3 blades. Once you have everything printed out, get your supplies together. You will need the green center from the Tinkering with Turbines box, 2 alligator clips from the box, a few wooden skewers, glue or tape, and a screwdriver. Now it's time to assemble. The poles of the turbine will fit tightly into the base and motor holder. You might need to sand the edges of the pole to get it to fit. Then you should glue or tape the poles together so that your wind turbine is tall enough to accommodate the blades. Next, you will need to glue or tape your thin blades to the 3 wooden skewers. Then, using the green center holder, you will fit the 2 pieces together and secure them with a screw. But leave a space between the 2 halves big enough for the wooden skewers to fit through. Then you will insert the skewers into the center holder to attach the blades to your wind turbine. This part can be tricky, but make sure the blades are facing outward and that they are all facing the same direction. Once that's done, you will attach the blades to the motor by inserting the motor into the green center holder. Make sure this is a tight fit, and you can use a bit of glue if the fit is not secure. When you turn the blades, you should see the rod on the motor turn as well. Place the motor into the motor holder, and now we will hook up the motor to the lights. Find the wires that come out of your motor. You will need to cut and strip the end of the wires so that the metal is exposed. If you are using the motor provided by Maker's Empire, then you will only need to strip the blue and yellow wires. These are the wires important for this experiment. You should attach one end of the alligator clips to the yellow and blue wires, and then attach the other end to the empty battery pack on the string of lights. Now, when the blades spin, the lights turn on. If this doesn't work for you, try switching the alligator clips around, or if you are not using the Maker's Empire supplied motor, you will need to play around to figure out which color wires are important for your experiment. Another way to connect the lights to the motor is to cut off the battery pack completely. And then strip the ends of the wires and connect the alligator clips directly to the string of lights. If you bought a string of lights that has more than just an on and off switch, you may need to try this method. But the end result is the same. When the turbine blades spin, the string of lights turn on. And now you're ready to use this with your students.